Welcome to the Reconciliation Conversation. We want this podcast to be a space where we can expose hate, encourage love, equip for healthy reconciliation, and emphasize unity so that all people can know their value together as one. Well, welcome to another episode of the Reconciliation Conversation. I'm so excited that we get the opportunity to continue this. It's been a while. We're entering into the Christmas season. Jason, how you feeling, man? You still got to do some shopping?
I got a little bit left to go. We got. I didn't get to tell our ladies, the guests today, that I have 7 kids, and so we have to start Christmas shopping a while back, right? So,
back in September.
But I think we're doing well. I think we are. I think we're almost done. Maybe one or two more things that we got to wrap up to finish it. But we're doing well. How about you guys, man?
Yeah, I'm done shopping for Rachel, and then me and Rachel usually go out the Monday before Christmas, and we go out and buy. We do a date. So we got our date lined up for Monday. We're gonna head out, do the shopping, and call it a day. But listen, you kind of already hinted at them already, but we have a special guest on the show today. Actually, a trio, a band called Chapel Hart. We're just so excited at the fact that we have them on here, and I want to make sure I get everyone's name. There's sisters, Danica and Devyn, and then cousin Trea. And so we're just excited that we have them. We were talking a little bit earlier about how I'm not the biggest country music fan, and that's odd being that I just moved to Nashville. But on the flip side of it, they're going to try to convert me. And so hopefully after this conversation that may happen. So ladies, welcome to the show. How you feeling today?
Hello. Hey. Doing good. A little cold, but we're not, I don't think we're adjusting to winter well. You know what I mean? Like, well, you guys given us a false sense of hope for summer all year long. So.
Well, you guys got that Southern blood, so it doesn't really get too cold down that way.
Right.
But listen, so obviously I mentioned already we are in the Christmas season, the holiday cheer, holiday spirit. And I was wondering if you guys wouldn't mind, because we are in the Christmas season, what's one of your favorite upbeat Christmas songs, and would you mind singing a little bit of it for us?
Now, usually we don't do a cappella out in the woods in the middle of nowhere, but for you guys, I think we can pull one out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Well, mistletoe hung where you can see every couple who tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. Well, you will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
Dang, okay.
Merry Christmas.
Listen. So I'm gonna be real with you. Number one, the fact that you guys would do that a cappella for us, that's a way to convert me, right? Because that's a way I'm like, all right, they like us a little bit. But number two, dang. Oh, you ladies sound amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm becoming a fan. I'm becoming a fan.
The conversion has begun.
It's begun. They break it, Jason. They break it.
If we did a whole Christmas album, you'd be sold. You'd have to move right to the.
Well, time out. Listen, if you release one, please believe I'm gonna buy it.
That's what's up. I'm looking forward to it.
I love it. I appreciate it, ladies.
So now we got it. Now we know something that's on the docket for 2021 is the Chapel Hart Christmas album. That's what we.
There you go.
Well, he mentioned that you guys have Southern roots. You're breaking into the country music scene. I mean, even as we speak right now, you're doing things related to this beautiful journey that you're on with your music career and your dreams in that, and great opportunities even coming your way. Doing the anthem coming up for one of the bowl games, and all the other things that CMT and the engagement that's been going with you guys, and we're excited for you. Talk about to kind of lean us into the story here. Talk about what those Poplarville, Mississippi, those New Orleans, those Southern roots have meant to you guys. How has it shaped you into the women and the artists that you are today?
I think that our roots have shaped us to be the women that we are today. I think because we had such a strong upbringing. I think we grew up with so many of us, and they kind of just threw us all out there and was like, "There's boys, there's girls. Go play football, go play basketball, just go." And so it'd be like Sunday evenings, and there's like 60 kids outside. There's a baseball game going on, football game going on, a basketball game going on, kickballs going on, and so I think just kind of from, it seems like they're really small lessons now, but there was so much I believe that we learned in that. And it was that, boys and girls are equal. When it was time to be tackled, you were tackled. Like, they didn't care that you were a girl. If you chose to play football, you had to go all in, and you got the, if it was a tackle coming for you, it had your name on it, you had to take it. And even as well as basketball and kickball, like when you played, you had to play hard. When you went out, you had to give it everything that you got. And I think that's one of the biggest things that shaped us as artists today. It's like, it's a male dominated genre, but if you're going to go out and play, you go play hard. If you're going to be a songwriter, you go out and you be the best, and you write with everything you got. And so, when the world shuts down, you got to figure out a way to keep going. And so I think that that's done so much for us, but I think it all goes back to those roots and kind of growing up with such tough women also for us to be surrounded with our moms and aunts, and like I said, there was a million of us, and so my grandma had 17 kids, and
oh wow,
10 of them, I think 10 of them were girls, and so it's just so they had to grow up equally as strong. So we were raised by strong women, and I think everything about our roots has shaped us for who we are today.
I love that.
So good.
I love that. And I feel like that leads into pretty well into our next question here, because not only did you have to, grind hard, you got to play hard to get to where you're at. Man, you guys are somewhat at a disadvantage. Let's be honest, right? The country music scene, there is not a lot of representation of us there.
Right.
But then to take it a step further, there's not a lot of representation of our Black women who are there. But you guys are one of the first Black trios to break into the country music scene, which to me is just so dope. And just another opportunity for me to just be honored to be talking with you ladies. Mm-hmm. But what would you say is something that you celebrate regularly in that? And what have been some of the hard things in your musical journey so far because of that?
Well, I would have to say initially some of the hard things, well, I wouldn't even say it was hard, because I think we kind of just with us being who we are, it's almost like take it as a challenge and you can't help but to love it. But of course, there will be sometimes we go into venues, especially places where people aren't as familiar with us, and we walk in and it's like, if looks could kill, we'd be like dead in the doorway. Like, it's almost like the Western whenever the piano stops playing and everyone turns and looks. But like 2 or 3 songs in, everybody's dancing and singing and hugging, and people from all kinds of backgrounds, like just getting together, just all in the name of good music. And like, I guess one could see that as a hardship, but I also see that as one of our greatest triumphs, because I kind of feel like everywhere we go, we're breaking down barriers and we're bringing people together. There are people who might say that I don't necessarily like country music, but I'll give you guys a try. And then before you know it, they're talking about their friends in low places. And, and the opposite end of the spectrum, people who might love country music, but might not be used to seeing it represented by people who look like us. Like, it's also just a teachable moment all around, just a way to bring everyone together. And I'm just super honored that we get the chance to be in that position to bring more people together, you know, just with good music. I also feel like another like really cool thing about what we do is that we can show people like from small towns, Black women, women of color, that it's possible. You know, when we grew up, there were people in country music who were different and they kind of were in their own lane, but they made it possible for us to be able to do the same thing today. And so we just hope that we can continue to inspire and encourage people to go after everything that you want, regardless of what you think is the norm.
That's
It's
right.
okay to just be different and go for it every time because it's possible.
Right. And I think that just to kind of like close on that, I think probably one of the most, or I think that we're finding out the more that you are who you are, the more that you are you, the easier it is, because it doesn't matter what other people think about you, or sometimes people even say it. Don't get me wrong. People will tell you what is on their mind and they don't mind it. But kind of when you're secure in who you are and whose you are, you know what I mean? Like you're able to stand, you're able to stand firm, even when people may not agree or people may not like you and they may not. And I think in turn, we find that there's so many people who, you know, may start out with a negative, like, oh, here we go. We got they're in our music again. But once they listen to the song all the way through, they go, oh, wow. Okay. So this is country music. My bad. You know, and I think Derrick did it at the beginning. I think it's one of those things, and we were talking about reconciliation, but I just love, I think that's kind of one of the first steps is like, if the moment that we can say, okay, I was wrong. And then sit back and then kind of, you know, be able to take that step back and then say, okay, and really listen, you know what I mean? And listen, I think that, like you said, when those conversations start, then, you know, that's how things start to change. And I think we kind of start to feel it already, is that, you know, things aren't as hard as they were when we started. And, you know, those shells aren't as tough as they were. And every room that we go into, it gets a little easier and gets a little easier. But, you know, and I think that it also comes from us just being ourselves too. Yeah.
Man, I love that. Well, again, I just want to say thank you for, I mean, you ladies are leading the way in a lot of areas, specifically here. But the fact that you're confident and comfortable with who you are and how God has made you, how he created you. And then on top of that, to say, man, here are the gifts that he's given us. And now we're able to use them in this sphere, the way that we want to do it. So thank you so much for leading the way in that. We greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
No, it's so good. It's so inspirational, right? Because as you are living from the identity and the worth that's been declared over you, hopefully you inspire other people to do the same thing, you know, and to take the risks and to do the things that you're passionate about and you're gifted for. And you guys are clearly gifted in this way. You know, as you dream ahead, and it may not be easy for you to pinpoint this down, but as you dream, as you imagine these next few years, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, even 10 years, as you look ahead, what are some of the dreams that you guys hold together? How do you know if you've done the things that you feel like really make you successful? But then also along with that, how do you envision using the platform that you have? Because you have such a unique perspective and angle and platform. How can you use that platform with such a life-giving purpose, which I know you guys desire to do from what I'm told, and I look forward to getting to know you more. But how do you envision that happening? The dreams you hold together and then the life-giving purposes that you could see.
Well, I think we can all say that some of the dreams that we have are, like we said earlier, just inspiring that future generation to just be unapologetically you. It doesn't, like, regardless of what you like, regardless of what you love, just be you and chase your dreams. It doesn't matter your cultural, your social background. Like, as long as you can be you and be happy doing it, I think the more that we do that, and if we can see more people doing that, seeing little girls growing up, following their dreams, I think that it just kind of makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, and I think probably even on the other side of that, I think that a lot of times, I think that I heard somebody say the other day, your intention means everything, and I would like to say that I intend to just not inspire the young people, but inspire people exactly where they are, because I think sometimes people feel like it's too late for me. I'm too old, or, you know, I've already had a kid. I've already gotten married. But I think that your dreams don't, you know, I think there's no timeline on it. You know what I mean? Like everything is about jumping. Everything is about faith. And I think that, you know, because I think that once you complete something, once that you do it and you can see that you can do it, it doesn't matter what age that you're at. One of those things that I like to see on Facebook is when it goes through the it'll show the actors and like how old they were when they started and like where they are now. And some of them started at 50, some of them started at 55, some of them started at 60. And so, you know, that, and to me, that's just super inspiring. And I hope that, you know, married people, old people, young people, you know, people of color, you know, Caucasian people. I hope that people look at us and they go, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. Plus size people, skinny people, people who are right in the middle. And that's why kind of one of the reasons I really like this, like us as a group. And I kind of didn't notice it until once we started, but almost every, you know, every kind of body type is represented. And like I said, at some point, I think that it doesn't even matter about color. Cause when I was growing up, there wasn't very many Black women in country music, but I just looked at who I could connect with. And I saw Gretchen Wilson and she was such an outcast and people were like, yeah, I don't know, you know, she ain't the kind you bring home to mama. But also she had a soul and a heart and just it came straight through her music. And so, like I said, I just want people to look and say, you know what, if she's plus size and she can go out and she can sing country music and, you know, no one in country music looks like her. If she can do it, certainly I can do it. And that's my biggest goal is just to keep inspiring people all over the world and, you know, and even in small towns and big towns and, you know, whatever you want to do, like life is it. But I just hope that, you know, that people just go and chase it because you only get to live once. And, you know, you don't want to look back and say, I wish I could have, would have, should have. Just go ahead and do it.
I love it. I love that. I love that. Well, I'll ask this, and I feel like you were kind of hitting on it a little bit just there. But you know, as we typically, you know, kind of end and close out our times, our conversations, we always want to encourage, challenge, equip our listeners with some things that they may be able to do. How might you guys encourage our listeners with 2 or 3 just action steps, some takeaways regarding what we've talked about, but specifically what we need to do, the steps that we need to take towards a reimagined American future together?
You know, I've heard the phrase a lot growing up, but it's kind of taken on so many meanings. But now, like, just the phrase eyes wide shut goes so far. And like, it resonates a lot with me because just the way that someone can listen to music and it really doesn't matter who they are, where they're from. If they like the music, it's good. You're going to listen to it. And I feel like we have to live the same way without any preconceived notions of what you're going into. And, you know, just accept like each other and, you know, your fellow man as just accept them for who they are. And, you know, just kind of take that with you everywhere you go. I think if I were to leave anything, I would just encourage everybody to just go after everything that you want. Like, you know, there's so many things that we feel like stop us from doing the things that we really want to do, but if it's in your heart to really do something, then just go after it, no matter what.
That's good.
At the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, then you got to make it happen.
Also, just, you know, life is, if I could leave one thing, I'd just say life is short. We've got a song called Jackie's Song, and a friend of ours, she passed away at the age of 28. But as we were kind of going through pictures and videos, she lived such a full life. You know, she was, you know, in Asia. She did a hike through Europe. She, you know, she was a massage therapist for the musicians clinic. She was able to do live music all the time. And that it just truly inspired that song, Jackie's Song. And it's like, if you're not living your life at 100%, if you're not living out loud, what are you doing? You know what I mean? If you're not surrounding yourself with the people who love you and support you, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn to cut off all those things that don't help you move forward, all those people who don't help you move forward. And you got to just press the gas and go. Because the further I go down the line, I realize there's so much more life left to live. And sometimes you don't even realize a lot of people will live their lives through you. You know, a lot of people go to your Facebook page every day to see where you're headed next, see what city you're in next. And they may not be able to get there, but they live it through you. And so that's an important, you know, I feel like that's an important work. And one of the things that God had to check me on one time, I said, this is my life. You know, I was upset about something else and somebody was trying to tell me what to do. And I was like, this is my life. You don't tell me what to do. And God checked me. He said, no, ma'am, this is my life. He said, I gave that to you to live for me. And he was like, and I said, ooh, all right then. Yeah, so and like that hit me so hard, and that's one of the things that I live by today. And that's just that, you know, what are you doing to live to that God gets the glory? You know what I mean? And who are you talking to, and who are you inspiring? Who are you showing your life to that then they can live out loud and they can go, what is it that she has that I want that? What is that? You know, and that starts the conversation.
So good. Well, hey, as we wrap up here, I was going to ask you to do another Christmas carol at the end. But when you were talking a while ago, I thought, yeah, let's do another Christmas carol if you're open to it. But I wouldn't mind if you did one of your songs. I mean, I think it'd be awesome for our listeners to hear that.
We've got a song that we'll attempt it. I don't know if we've ever done it a cappella before, but we'll give it a shot. But this song is called "I Will Follow" and hasn't been released yet. But we've been kind of working on it a little bit on the road and on tour. And I mean, I think I'm finding out more and more. It it's a song just speaks to our heart, and it is who we are. And the song was written by Nick Brophy out in Nashville. And so if you guys don't mind, we'll try and close out with it. If it's terrible, we'll just do a Christmas song and y'all can edit it in.
And then we edit it out
It's
later.
all good. That's all.
We don't mind at all.
We appreciate you being willing to share it. So.
All right, here we go. We'll get it going. 1, 2, 3. Mama always told me, don't be afraid to shine.
Don't you try to please no one except the one inside. No, you can't change the weather, and you can't change where you're from.
The color of your skin or the beat of your own drum. Life will keep you chasing the wind, just to keep you chasing it again. But I know who I am, no matter what they say. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow. Where my heart leads the way, I will follow.
Shoot. Okay.
Love it.
Love you. We got it. Look.
I think y'all converted them.
You are going to be a
Listen, I could listen
in like 2 months.
Listen, I'm knocking on the door. I'm almost there.
Come on. But the one thing I will say though, Derrick, one thing I love about country music, and even from when I was a little girl, it's like if you love a good story, because I was one of those kids who always wanted a bedtime story, but I was also a little bit of a hustler, so I figured if I could hustle you into 3 bedtime stories, I didn't have to go to bed right away. And
For real, yeah.
Are you the grown-up version of my daughter? What is this?
Tell her the world is hers, okay? But I found out that I started to fall in love with stories, and that's why even watching Netflix, I can't watch series because I can't like plan it out over a day. I just stay up for like 3 days and just watch them, like you know. So I fell in love with the storyline, and so that's what ultimately kind of made me fall in love with country music. Was just like I would go through and break it down, and just kind of in the breakdown, I'd like cry, and I'm like, oh no, like so. if you love a good storyline, just take a couple of songs and. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to email you like 3 songs and just start from there. And you just
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I will listen to them as quickly as you send them. I promise.
They're going to be all 3 of my songs. So just be ready.
I'm here for it. I'm ready for it.
Perfect.
So listen, it's as obviously you guys are on social media. I just want to make sure. So it's Chapel Hart Band, correct?
Just Chapel Hart. Chapel Hart everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
And make sure that's Chapel Like a Church and HART for all of your listeners.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. We'll make sure that they see it. So, ladies, we appreciate you taking the time again. And to our listeners, thank you again for always tuning in with us. We'll catch you next time as we continue the conversation. Peace out.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for joining in on the Reconciliation Conversation.
Remember, you can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Recon Convo. You can also stay connected with us through our website, reconciliationconversation.com, or feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel under No More Night Media. We look forward to continuing the conversation with you next time.